All right, before we get going, I'm sure some of you guys want me to comment on Friday's report, but I'm not going to do that. My responsibilities to the Buckeyes, my responsibilities to this team, and making sure that we're ready to play in 12 days, and that's where we're going to keep the focus. That being said, Julian Sayin will be the starting quarterback against Texas. It was a close competition. I think both guys, we all feel confident, can win a game for us. I think Julian separated himself really over the last week with his consistent play. I feel like our guys are confident again with both quarterbacks. I think we'll need both quarterbacks. Lincoln did a lot of great things, but we're going to name Julian the starter here, give him the majority of the reps with the ones, and go prepare to beat Texas.
Just following up on that, just what was it about Julian over the last couple of weeks that made the difference, ultimately allowed him to win the job?
Well, I think you're always looking for consistency and taking care of the football. And when you start with practice one in the spring and then kind of do, study on the entire, growth over 6 months, you see that there was a lot of growth made. And you look at the numbers and the production, we felt like, he was, in a situation where he was ready to go play in this game. We also feel like Lincoln's ready to play. But, overall, Julian was more consistent.
Pat Murphy, 24/7 Sports.
You mentioned Lincoln and still needing him. We've talked about this in the past when you've named starters, but how important it is for him to handle this the right way. Obviously, he's been a backup before, but not maybe the primary backup. So what is his role now?
Yeah, he was great in the meeting that we talked about. He's he knows in his heart he's going to play this year, and so he's going to prepare to play in the first game, and we know it's a long season. So I'm sure he's a competitor. I'm sure he wants to play in the first game, but I wouldn't say he's discouraged. I thought he had a good practice out here today. He had good energy. The team knows that we're going to need him, so and he knows. Again, I thought that was excellent leadership on his end, and it's a long season.
Over here to the right, Adam King, WBNS.
How did Julian take the news, and how did you kind of talk about it with both those guys?
Yeah, met with him quickly this morning and shared with him the decision. I'll leave most of the conversation between us, but as you can imagine, talked about winning this first game, being the best quarterback room in the country, taking care of the ball, making routine plays routinely. What comes with that, and we got to prepare like heck over the next 12 days to go win a monster game early on. So that's it. And one thing's for sure is we work them hard in practice. And it's our job to make sure that they feel like when they're out there on the practice field, it's as game-like as possible, knowing that that's completely unrealistic in terms of the fans and the crowd, but in terms of the intensity of the practices, what we put on them, the expectations, and there's a reason for that, so that they can go perform in a situation like this. And I shared with them when they get in the game, let it rip, go get it, man, play with confidence, because that's what all the preparation rewards you with, is the ability to play with confidence.
Over here to the right, Andrew Gillis, Cleveland.com.
Ryan, with Julian, what did you learn about him in this process? Obviously, I'm sure you got an idea coming in, but what did you learn about him as a quarterback and as a leader?
Smart, poise, has good composure, can see it, has good timing, and has really built command and confidence as time has gone on. And so, you see the traits, you see the accuracy, you see the ball getting out of his hand quickly, but the ability to run the offense, get us into the right play, make good decisions, throw it away when we need to, and ultimately take care of the football. But he can fit the ball into tight spaces when he needs to. He's got a good feel for the pocket, and so all of those things, were areas that we recognized that he's taken steps forward here during the preseason.
Far left, Jared Smalley, WCMH.
All right. Over the weekend, naming the Block O with a young man who has changed positions here, who has developed here. His relationship with Coach Mick is unique in that development. Can you explain a little bit about why he was a good choice for that role, and then his relationship with Coach Mick and how they have worked together to create this career that he's building on?
Yeah, when we decide to award a player with the Block O, it's Coach Mick and the strength staff and myself who vote on it. And this year it was unanimous. And that speaks to Sonny and the work that he's put in the summer, the off season, the leadership that he's shown, the ability to stand in front of his teammates and say hard things. You know, part of being a leader is, you know, being comfortable with conflict. And I've seen him grow in that area. He came in really as a senior in high school, his freshman year. And, you know, he forewent his senior year to come here early, grew, and just got, you know, more and more indoctrinated in the program. And certainly this program runs deep into his family, and it means a lot to him. And so, you know, this is somebody that cares a lot about his teammates, loves Ohio State, loves the Buckeyes, but has become a tremendous leader and obviously an excellent player. And so all those things wrapped into one show you why he deserves that award.